You already know what it is. Travel Therapy Motivation coming at you live. We are down at Chipino's Restaurant in the Strip District, downtown Pittsburgh. We are on TRx TV. We're streaming live on Facebook. This is a Golden Sky Media production. Guys, we wanted to just come at you live and do a video podcast, a video blog, just to really first introduce ourselves to you guys, let you know who we are, and then talk a little bit about the group. So without further ado, a proper introduction is in order. My name is Scott Anthony. I'm 50% of the TTM team. I hail from Pittsburgh. I live in Pittsburgh most of the year. In the winter months, I live in Amelia Island, Florida, aka Fernandina Beach. Professionally, I work as a physician or doctor, a medical doctor, and I have a travel agency also, hence the name or moniker, the Travel Doctor. And I'm half the team, that's me.
And I'm the second half of the team. I'm Jim Hargrove, also James Hargrove. I also grew up in Pittsburgh. We both from Point Breeze, a small neighborhood in Pittsburgh called Point Breeze. And I'm the Columbian Traveler. My daily job, I work as a casino host at Rivers Casino, and that's where I'm at right now.
We've been friends for about 30 years, best friends, and we both love to travel. So first thing we wanted to talk to you guys about was why we started this group. Now, in the future, our video blogs and video podcasts going forward, what we're going to do is we'll pick a topic, we'll sit and talk about it, and for those who join the stream live, we'll actually be able to answer some of your questions live. But the reason we started the group on my end, and I'll let Jim tell you his thoughts. For me, I absolutely love to travel. I've always thought travel is therapy. It's a passion. I think in the winter months, being in Pittsburgh, it's so cold, I get a little bit of seasonal affective disorder or winter blues. I get a little down. So I've always traveled in the winter, and I found I absolutely just loved to travel. And we thought about a way to get a group together where people would be sort of motivated to travel and inspired to travel. So that's the whole purpose of the group. Really just for you to be inspired and for you to inspire others to just get out there and see the world.
And along with inspiring, how the group is to work is that people are to post their pictures, post their experiences, their travel videos and so forth, and also to be able to create more dialogue about travel, recommendations on places to go. If people are going to a foreign place that they've never been to, that most people have. So globally, we are looking to be able to provide a forum for everybody to communicate, pass along experiences and advice relative to travel. So that's really the passion in which he's involved me with in terms of wanting to travel.
And then the last topic we wanted to talk to you about, we just wanted to be brief today, have a brief introduction, but the last topic is sort of what was it like when the travel bug bit us both? You know, if you like to travel, you know, you're going to be bitten by the travel bug at some point. And when you do, it's a memorable experience. For me, it really is something as simple as the college road trip. So for those of you that went to college or university, you remember taking a road trip and just maybe even going to a neighboring school that's maybe an hour away. You got in the car with your friends and buddies, you drove up there. That experience, even though it was a real local experience, that was the first time I said, man, this is great. We're in another town, we're seeing something different. That's how it first started for me. I didn't know it at the time, but those were great kind of formative experiences. So that was local travel. And then I started to travel some domestically in the United States, absolutely fell in love with our country. So we don't ever want you to forget that there's a lot of good travel at home. And then, you know, my first international trip was to St. Martin back when I was a medical resident, and I absolutely loved St. Martin. And then once I was there and once I saw that blue water, heard that reggae music, and had that Caribbean vibe, I was bitten, I was hooked, and I never looked back at all. So that's my story.
Mine is somewhat similar. It actually dates back even before high school days. We both grew up, again, like I said, in Point Breeze, and we both went to the Boys Club. I was a part of what was called the Keystone Club, and we traveled. We had regional and national events that we would go to for leadership conferences and so forth. So we traveled then as I was 13, 14 years old to Atlanta, Chicago, Daytona, and places like that. So that's where I realized now that I had a passion for travel. As far as internationally, my first international trip, thanks to this man here, he told me in October 2010 to get our passport, and we were going to go to Belize. Now, my initial international trip was actually for my honeymoon to St. Thomas, but it was just a cool vibe because there was so much more going on at that point from the wedding standpoint of view. But going to Belize for New Year's and spending 7 days there allowed me to pull my life back and look at my life from a different perspective of the values that I've had versus the values that other cultures have had. So since then, I've definitely loved international travel as well as domestic, but that was where the bug caught me, and that's where we stand today.
So that's really mostly what we wanted to talk to you guys about. We just want to remind you that this group is only going to grow if you guys continue to add your friends, like-minded friends who enjoy travel, and even friends who you might not think enjoy travel because they might get bitten by that bug too, and they might realize that they're really enjoying the group. Just want to remind you guys that I know you know about our Facebook page. We are on Instagram at Travel Therapy Motivation. We are on Twitter. We're also on Snapchat. That is at TRx Motivation. Our email address is ttmotivation@hotmail.com. And you want to talk to them a little bit about the shirts and breast cancer awareness?
Yes, absolutely. We do have 6 travel shirts that we are promoting. Portions of the travel shirts are to further our growth in terms of the group itself. Finances from the shirts will help us to be able to create trip giveaways and ultimately, hopefully, a group trip to certain places where the group decides where the trip may be. Our most current promotion, though, we have is a breast cancer shirt that is sitting back here. Most of you guys have seen on the group. Starting October 1st, we are putting that on sale, and proceeds from that group are going to go to the Susan G. Komen Foundation. So ultimately, as this group represents, we are about cultural women's views, cultural views, and etc. So, but we do have shirts. They're on the website. They're on the travel page where it tells you how it can be purchased. If you can't message me, you can tell me in the group, and I'll get in touch with you one way or another. And you can also message the travel doctor.
That's right. So that's it, guys. We'll be around. We'll let you know when the next live video blog and podcast is going to be. We'll have a topic. We'll put on the site prior to the event what the topic's going to be. You guys can think of some questions that you might ask us, but we're always available. Just remember, this is your group. It'll be whatever you guys decide it's going to be. And just don't forget, travel is therapy.
Don't forget, travel is therapy. It's the travel doctor. It's the Lumby. It's the Delumbian. Peace.